All right, good Tuesday morning, everyone. It's time to talk markets with Jim Cramer on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. All right, Jim, what do you make of the rebound in the broader markets this morning?
Well, it's good to see the industrials be the leader. We own 3M for the trust. We are looking at that group to be an important group. Dover with the change at the top, looking very good. I like the action in Deere. Boeing with the comeback after some negative news. That's the leadership group. So to see them go up in the face of the Fed, I think that's very positive. Watch the retailers. Have a piece on Real Money about how the retailers did quite well yesterday, the mall retailers. Facebook hang in there. Is Facebook going to be dead money? Until they come out and give you the talk, it's going to be like Microsoft was when they attacked the Justice Department in 1999 and 2000. It's going to be like Google when they were first grilled by Congress. You get a hit, you go in and you say, not only were we dumb, but we were stupid. That's Jamie Dimon's comment when he on the whale. There are ways to handle this, and there are ways not to. And I think that what Facebook has to recognize is that there are 100 senators, okay? And when you have 100 senators and they speak, this is a very important point. The American people do not sit there and say, well, what do these senators know? They say they're representing us and the senators are angry. And so you have to throw yourself at the mercy. Now Facebook doesn't think it did anything wrong. That's what Microsoft thought, and that's what Google thought. It's what I call an abstraction. It doesn't matter if you think that you're innocent. This is basically a court of public opinion, and you're guilty till proven innocent. And they've got to recognize that. And when they do, the stock will go higher.
And no hoodies, no T-shirts. He has to suit up.
I just think that you have to recognize that the American people like humility. The American people are not, the advertisers love Facebook. They're not going to change. The American people would like to think, you know what, I'd like to be able to opt out right at the top if I don't like it. If they put it opt out political matter right at the top, then you can opt out. And say you're opt out and then you can read it. And that's what they have to do. And the fact that they haven't done it means they haven't been watching me. And I've spent a lot of time on the cross. And I know what you do. It's kind of what I've done for the last 35 years. I'm not being arrogant. I'm just saying I've been there. And I know how to handle this. And I just wish that they understood that there's a way to handle it and there's a way not to. And they are going down the road of the latter.
All right, so far nothing from Zuckerberg. We'll see if he speaks
Sheryl,
up.
I mean, look, these are people, when you know Zuck and you know Sheryl, first name basis, what you have to do is say, I need to hear from them, and I really want them to say, we were dumb and we were stupid and we're not just going to do algos. And if this ever happens again, we are going to shine a light on it. We are going to put a lantern to it. It's not going to be a snake in the grass anymore. All of those terms must be used. I'm actually surprised that they don't know that and that they don't think that you have to say those things. I remember when Google was there and they put Eric Schmidt in and they realized they had to say those things. When Steve Ballmer attacked the Justice Department, that was dumb. We know a right way and a wrong way. When Senator Levin was attacked by some of the investment banks, that was a mistake. When Vikram Pandit spoke in front of Congress, he said, listen, I apologize, I'm sorry, I apologize, I'm sorry. That went well. There's just a way to do it. And I'm offering it to them. And I'm offering it to them because I want them to do well. My Chapel Trust owns it. Fortunately, we sold a lot because we were being pigs. But there's a right way and the wrong way. And then the sooner they get with the right way, the sooner the stock starts reflecting the 40% growth they have.
All right, meanwhile, Jim, a pedestrian was tragically killed by an Uber self-driving car.
Right. Now, we have data. The Department of Motor Vehicles has data about disengagement, meaning that there was an error. And the Waymo cars do incredibly well. That's Google, GM not that well. And you can get that data right from the Department of Motor Vehicles. Uber being sensitive. But in the end, remember, driverless cars don't get drunk. They don't get tired. Driverless cars are not reckless. The number of fatalities after years and years and years of going down in America from photos has been going up because of texting. That's really important. And the equivalent of a 747 plane goes down every single day worldwide if you talk about fatalities. So any fatality is bad. But the numbers, the empirical numbers, are on the side of driverless cars. And watch Intel. That's a bullpen name for Action Alert, because what they've done with Mobileye and driverless cars is really quite extraordinary.
And you've been in these Waymo cars
yes,
as well.
And Brian Krasanich told me last week about the driverless cars in Israel and how well they're performing. So this is a technology that after a couple of days of headlines, as sad as it is, will be back in the news positively.
Jim, you had the CEO of Cigna on Mad Money last night. You're still bullish on their acquisition.
Yeah, it's interesting. The president today talking about middlemen doing poorly, so Cardinal Health gets singled out, McKesson. A lot of people feel that Express Scripts is a middleman. The CEO of Cigna told me basically, look, we're going to use the middleman to get costs down. Now, Cigna is the lowest cost producer. Maybe they can drive down prices at Express Scripts. I felt the following after listening to him. I said to myself, this is going to be stuck in a range for a long time. But when it finally closes or get closer, it's a really interesting deal.
And staying with healthcare, BristolMyers, as you like to say.
Yeah, BristolMyers, the opioid stocks are, that's the focus of the president, not Opdiva, which is the fantastic anti-cancer franchise that BristolMyers has. And that came up as an upgrade today. And BristolMyers is, once again, after many years, BristolMyers is now again the least controversial drug stock. And I remember even 3 years ago when it started falling apart, and people felt that Keytruda from Merck was doing better. Well, that whole dialogue has changed, and now it's BristolMyers being on top.
You also spoke to the CEO of Emerson Electric last night. He's pretty pro Larry Kudlow.
David Farr. Well, you know what he is? He's got two hats. He has the National Association of Manufacturers, and he also has Emerson. And it's very clear that Emerson is doing amazingly. There's a stock to buy. Holy cow. They are doing so great. Now, they'd be hurt by if China did it. China fought back from our recent moves, absolutely. And they're hurt by by steel going up. But what Farr's saying is, listen, the tax breaks are far better than the tariffs. And the tariffs are part of the price we have to pay in order to be able to get the corporate tax lower. And he's very energized and excited and thinks that Larry will do a great job. I do think that it's important that Larry be out there center stage talking if we do any sort of Chinese tariffs. Not unlike Wilbur Ross, who was fabulous this morning on Squawk on the Street. Fabulous.
David Farr also pretty excited about GE's assets.
Very interesting. GE breaking under 14. You know they have to do sell assets. And he basically just said, look, we're ready. Now, remember, they were trying to buy Rockwell and they failed. They bought the valve business of Pentair. GE has a lot of businesses that would dovetail very well with Emerson, so let's watch that.
All right, meanwhile, Jim, you have Shark Tank star Robert Herjavec on Mad Money.
Yeah, Herjavec is pretty exciting. I mean, he does cyber terrorism, and I think that cyber terrorism and Bitcoin are going to be a major focus of my interview.
All right, we'll be watching tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern on Mad Money. Jim and I are going to continue talking about stocks on ActionAlertsPlus.com. Please join us there.